That says Hangouts Live on air. You literally joined Jean H. Pierre, the TV and beer rambler from Mobile, Alabama, as soon as we went live. What is going on, good sir? What beer do you have this evening?
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, John.
Hey,
Just
John.
hello. So, you want to know what beer I'm drinking?
Yes, we do.
Okay, I am drinking Sweetwater IPA tonight.
Yes. All right.
Yes, and Eric, I'm sure you had this, and John and Neely, I know you've had this definitely from your area, and Jeremy, hopefully you can get this, Jeremy, and Mike, I don't know if you've had this as well. So,
What's
Yes, I've had that.
what's the ABV, John?
6.3% ABV.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Born on date is March 30th, 2019. So it was a couple of days old. But
Hey, that sounds really good. Welcome to the chat, John.
and I'm having dinner, so I will mute myself right now.
Cool. We got Jeremy Vincent from the Arkansas State. And which beer are you drinking with us this evening, good sir?
Today I have Founders Brewing. Mosaic Promise is a single hop ale. Only Mosaic hops are used in this. And Golden Promise Malt, so that's where they get the Mosaic Promise from. It's a 5.5% and ABV and 50 IBUs. So I think I got a pretty good beer to try today. So we're going to find out.
It sounds like it's promising something, but does it deliver? We will find out.
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Yeah, there's my cheesy segue to John Anile from the great state of Georgia. What are you drinking, John? Show us all.
All right, I've got the Guinness 200th Anniversary Export Stout, introduced in 2017 as a commemorative beer for the 200th anniversary of the company, brewed in Dublin, Ireland. 6% alcohol, and it is brewed with black patent malt, which it says on the label that was the first malt that they used to give their stouts a deep, dark black color. And never had it. So I was excited to be able to find it at Total Wine & More up in North Carolina. It is not available in my area anymore. I think that it was just a limited release, and it's basically one of those when they sell out, that's it. So anyway, I'm excited to try it. I've already actually had some of it. I gave it a pour, so there's the appearance. Nice black and very Guinness-like with the appearance.
Sneaky.
That's good.
John's got some giant burger he is chowing down on. It's nice.
You have to give us an update on that burger here in a minute.
Yeah.
Rating.
Back to the burger soon. Back to the burger with your beer. But from Brooklyn, New York, Michael Komaroff, and a Two Roads Brewing Company beer.
Okay, here's a look of the Two Roads Dry and Mighty Brute IPA at 6.8 ABV from Stratford, Connecticut. And this is what it looks like in the glass.
Nice.
Kind of a little bit little bit cloudy.
Yeah.
There's a kind of a mild haze on it, and I will come back and give further description later.
Camp Bear Review says that about the Mosaic Promise, nice beer, that Mosaic Promise, steady pale ale. Ronnie S says, just stopping by to say cheers, fellas, bottoms up. And I am drinking Allagash Brewing Company from Portland, Maine. This is their Barrel and Bean. Apparently, it's a year-round offering, 10% alcohol by volume, bottled on the 7th of February, 2019 at 9/11. And again, 10%. It is a triple ale aged in bourbon barrels and blended with cold brew coffee. So, yeah, this is one I've not ever had. And I don't know if you can see anything about this bottle, but even the bottle looks kind of hazy. So this will be interesting to crack this one open and give it a pour. So I do want to go back to Jean H. Pierre and the beer of choice with the burger of choice this evening.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Yeah, I had my partner Mike that works with me. He had bought some nice ground deer meat.
Whoa.
So yeah,
Venison.
there's a little venison. So the past couple tonight is night number 3. I've had a deer burger tonight. I threw in a nice fried egg on top of it with some cheese, a little ketchup, some onions, and
Shit, man.
delicious. And right now I'm drinking this IPA. May not be the great pairing with it, but oh well. But
That probably
this
works.
is a dry hop IPA. Has a lot of hop characters to this. When I had it the first time, I thought, man, this is probably one of the best IPAs I've had, and I've had some good ones. I've had Wrought Iron, I've had Goose, the more well-known ones, but this one really stands out. And nice little color, as you can see right here in my little water tea goblet glass. I'm drinking it out of my beer glass have been shattered, 2 of them now recently.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. But I will be on a hunt for another one, either at the flea market or maybe some store or whatever. I don't know. You know, some retro glass and it has a Schlitz or a PBR label on it. I don't know. But anyway, nice little color, as you can see. A lot of lacing on top of it. The hop characters are definitely there, and then you get the flavor, the scent of a lot of orange and some grapefruit in this IPA. So, and I'll go back to the flavors on it, I guess, whenever we get to the flavors, or when we start the tasting, I guess.
not drinking, sir.
Yeah.
Bottoms up, everybody.
Yeah. Do I need to keep talking or?
Keep going.
Okay. It's a nice little sweetness to it. As definitely the hop presence are definitely in this. 6.3%, not bad.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a little sweetness, but overall, this is just a good, solid, well-made IPA. So I'll get my score on it later.
All right. Good, solid IPA. If you didn't know that, now you do. Thank you, John. We'll come back to you with that final thought. And my computer's going nuts. All right. Friar Tuck. Holy crap. Hello. Cheers, fellas.
Hey, Friar Tuck.
Vincent, by way of Jeremy. Your beer, Mosaic Promise. Explain that from Founders Brewing Company.
I don't think this is this a filtered one? It doesn't appear to be filtered, so I thought it was a filtered beer, but
Yeah.
okay.
Looks like a New England style IPA there.
I know.
That's a good one, Jeremy, by Founders, the Mosaic Promise.
Yeah.
I reviewed it. That's a good one.
Getting a lot of carbonation. Like I said, like a one finger head when I poured it, it's down to like a quarter. Golden amber color.
Gold.
Just a white head on this one. Let's get a nose on it. This is very, I mean, it's very light. Indeed, it's like I said, another one with that's got the smell of a little bit of orange peels in it, a little bit of lemony, very, very a little bit of grapefruit in this one. Not as much as a lot of them, but I do smell it. That's about all that's going on with that one. Let's get a taste on it.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
It's a little more hoppier than a lot of the American pale ales that I've drank. Not getting close to the IPA level, but and it's real smooth. A little bit watery though, more than you would think. It's a good beer. A lot of said grapefruit flavor and all these are pretty much prominent in most of them that I've drank.
Is it bitter?
It's bitter, but it's nowhere near. I mean, it's a pale ale bitter. It's a little bit more bitter than a regular pale ale to me, but it's not quite to the, IPA level. But it's a little bit more bitter than what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
But it is 50 IBUs, but
Okay,
it's very thin bodied to me, which is probably why it's only 5.5. But that's all I've got on this one, guys. Until I get to the date. The date's coming up. I think I'm gonna be in trouble on that this time.
The date has already expired. We'll find out later.
I think that's maybe why it's not as good as I think it should be.
Well, we'll get on that.
What's the date on it, Jeremy? What's the date on it?
I'll reveal that here in a minute.
Okay.
Ronnie, I got a Ronnie S beer, I think.
Oh no. Boy, well, let's get to a non-shitty beer with John and his 200th anniversary beer. That better not be 200 years old, John.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I don't know because it's got a lot code on it with a bunch of letters and numbers that make absolutely no sense to me. But it is a stout, so it's holding up pretty well. So anyway, and it's keeping a nice little thin layer of head. I poured this about 20 minutes ago or longer. And as you can see, there's some nice lacing there as well. So the aroma is very Guinness-like. There's really nothing too out of the ordinary. It smells a lot like the Guinness Extra Stout, to be honest. You're getting some dark chocolate notes, some roasted barley malt, so some really darkly roasted barley malt, so like dark white toast, a little bit of a hop aroma as well, but it doesn't smell like it's going to be overly hoppy. Really for a stout, it's not going to be too bitter, but it smells really good. It smells just a little like a Guinness beer with a little extra kick, I guess.
What's the ABV, John? What's the ABV again?
6%.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
You have a very welcomed guest to the Jean H. Pierre channel right behind you. Oh, you did.
So the taste is kind of follows the nose. You're definitely getting the dark roasted barley malt, some nice like toasted bread notes in the middle of the sip. The dark chocolate is coming through quite nicely. It's malty up front, bready in the middle, and then it's got that nice hop bite on the finish to balance it out. Very enjoyable, but it doesn't really taste much different than the Guinness Extra Stout. I'd like to kind of put them side by side and see if I could even tell a difference. If you've had the Guinness Extra Stout, which is definitely more widely available and one of their flagship beers,
Right.
then you've pretty much had this one, I think. It's very enjoyable. The body is light for me, although if you're not used to drinking stouts, you might think it's heavy. But when you get into the 10-plus barrel-aged imperial stouts, this one is very light and watery compared to those. It's very enjoyable. It's very well balanced, like I said, malty up front, nice little hop bite to balance it out on the finish. Alcohol, of course, is non-existent at 6%. Very enjoyable. It's definitely a winner. It's definitely worth checking out if you can still get it in your area. I bought a single. I want to say it was like $2 for the single, which is really not a bad deal at all. So I'll keep sipping on it and come back with the rating on the next time around.
That's a good price on that, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Total Wine and More really blew my mind when I went up to North Carolina. They had.
Yeah.
I thought I had good beer selection here, and we do, but they had, it was absolutely unbelievable what they had. And you could buy a single of absolutely everything that they had. You could break open a 24-pack of beer and buy a single out of it if you wanted to. It's really incredible, the selection.
I haven't got Brady to do that yet in my liquor store.
Now, Total Wine and More, is that mostly, I guess I haven't seen it anywhere near my area. Is it mostly where you are, Jeremy or John, Arkansas, John in Georgia? Because
I think it's North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe somewhere in there.
Okay. There is one in North Atlanta, but it would be like a 2.5-hour round trip for me because of traffic and just the craziness of the part of Atlanta that it's in. But now that I know all of the selection, everything that they have, I will definitely have to make a trip up to the one in Georgia pretty soon to check out their selection.
Because I mean, you know, here Alabama, unfortunately, you know, we're so behind the damn times, unfortunately. Now, if I was back home in Jersey, it wouldn't be such a problem. But you know, but here, you know, I mean, we got Whole Foods here. I think it was maybe 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, and you know, places like that. And again, back in 2009, it was finally where they were able to finally start selling beer over 6%. You know, and because everything was all lower, so you had, you know, the usual suspects, you know, the Keystones and the Miller Lights. You know, it's just Montgomery and all that politics and the biblical stuff, you know, Bible Belt stuff.
Politics and the biblical stuff.
I can deal with it.
All things you should enjoy while drinking beer.
Yeah, exactly. So all the politics, and I can't stand it. But anyway, but that's a good deal, John. That's a very good deal.
It's a very good segue to Michael Komarov, politics and the beer. With no, not at all. With some Brut IPA from New England.
Okay, as you know, as you can notice, the head has waned a little bit. It's down to kind of a thin white head, still cloudy. And as I shake up the head, the lacing is actually pretty good. It comes back and regenerates. There is a carbonation stream, but I would say it's a medium carbonation. It's steady, but it's not anything that's going to knock your socks off. Let's get a nose on it.
Sure.
You're getting the citrus flavors in the nose, and I think maybe a difference with Jeremy's is it's not the rind, it's kind of the citrus fruit more. Lemon and grapefruit and orange, just like a combination citrus smell. I don't even think you could tell which citrus it is. It's just like a general citrus. Let me give it a taste.
Cheers.
Tropical fruits.
Okay, the taste follows the nose, but it's kind of a subdued citrus in the taste. It's not in your face citrus. It's kind of more in the background. And I think you're getting the Brut effect in that the carbonation stream is like amping up the beer. So you're getting the thing that's making it Brut-like is it has kind of like a champagne kind of feel to it. So the carbonation in the look, you really can't see it, but it comes out in the taste. Actually very good.
Awesome. I've been very pleased with the Brut IPAs that I've had. I think it's a really great style, and hopefully some more will make their way to my area. I've just had the New Belgium and Sierra Nevada, so your big name brand stuff. Yeah. But hopefully, like the New England IPAs, some more of the craft Bruts will make their way to my area.
Six Point had one in one of their limited release that I bought a 6-pack of, and that was similar to this. I think it was a little bit. This is 6.8. I think the 6 Point one was 7. But I mean, it's the same kind of style, and I will have other 6.1s coming up in the future Wild Card Wednesdays because every month I've been picking up. And next month, when it happens, my wife will have to go because I'm going to be in Florida.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Sounds good. Yeah.
I will give you a number when you come back around.
Okay. I did go and buy some Trillium style beers from Trillium beers. I'm like 5 minutes from where I work over there. Only one of them was a IPA, so maybe we'll get to one of those off air. But another New England beer here again, Barrel and Bean, barrel aged triple style ale. And now Allagash is doing Portland, Maine. That's where they're from. Allagash does pretty much Belgian style and themed beers. I mean, they make a black. What do they call that? A Belgian style, like a stout, which Belgians don't have that. So they kind of play around with things in a Belgian tradition. So they say for Barrel and Bean, we age our triple, a Belgian style golden ale in bourbon barrels for 7 weeks, then blend in cold brewed coffee from Speckled Axe, which has to be Maine beanery. Flavor notes include vanilla, caramel, and a dash of cold brewed coffee. They've been around since 1995. All right. So, yeah, sort of golden, but I would really not call it golden overall. It's orangey, or even like a Werther's original on camera. Definitely, I'm getting a cloud.
Yeah, hazy.
The actual cloud that I'm seeing, but there's a sediment cloud going on. It's very cloudy, and murky, almost like a muddy. Maybe it's like a muddy water in a river or something. Yeah, and the head, you can see how it's dying down a little bit. There's some lacing and some legs there, and the nose is definitely a combination of some sweet coffee and cream, maybe like a medium roast coffee towards full. I'm getting a lot of toffee caramel malts. Definitely very sweet. Maybe some graham crackery kind of crust in there too. Definitely a syrupy sort of molasses and or brown sugar type of a sweetness. Wet Dreams. Hello. He is a user on YouTube. Good day, sir. That would have just sounded weird if I just said hello, Wet Dreams, and just left it there. So yeah, it smells sort of like, I don't know, it smells like good coffee and the graham cracker crust of an apple pie almost. So that smells absolutely good. Cheers. I want to drink this.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers, Eric.
Cheers.
Cheers to the beer.
Oh, yeah, that is exactly like an apple pie without any apple in it. I'm getting some cinnamon. I'm getting the graham cracker. Getting like a granola kind of essence to it. I am getting the somewhat of a syrupy molasses or brown sugar sweetness, but the sweetness is very dessert-like and it's not overboard in any way, shape, and form. I'm getting a little bit of a citrusy tang, which I am going to actually equate to that cold brew coffee. Medium style coffee towards a full bodied. There is a little bit of cream to the coffee. It is like mirroring the nose, and it's not a huge, even in the nose. I mean, I can get a little bit of bourbon if I got to be honest, maybe a little bit of that coconut, but it's not obviously the first thing that I even mentioned. And on the taste, only a little bit is creeping in there at the very end of the sip. It dries out and gives you a little bit of the coconut and the bourbon. I think they use Jim Beam and or the Knob Creek barrels, but I think they do a lot of Jim Beam at Allagash for their barreling. Yeah, it tastes like a higher alcohol beer. It does not taste like 10% beer. The dangerous glass here. This is pretty good special beer. This will be really good in the fall. This will be really good even around now where the transition from winter into the springtime is. Anytime where it's cold or anytime where it's sort of transitioning in from that cold weather into a little bit of warmer weather, but it's still got those cold, chilly nights. That would be really good. So I had it opened while everybody had opened their beers and it was sort of sitting around at that time. So it hasn't really warmed up and hasn't really showed it that side of it yet. But so far, this is some delicious freaking beer.
What's the ABV, Eric?
No IBUs, but ABV is 10% of this bad, Larry.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. 10%. I like beers with higher ABVs. A little crazy.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, you go crazy on that one.
Need a 6-pack of them, John.
We're going to come back to me on that rating. And I'm going to go right back that way in the opposite direction. Michael Komarov, Brute IPA from, you're doing Two Roads Brewery. How is it treating you? What you thinking?
I like it. I'm not sure it's the best Brute IPA I've ever had, but it's certainly a decent one. Are you ready for my number?
Who's ready for his number? Let's do it. Yeah.
We're ready.
I'm going to give it an 89, which is a B plus.
Well, not bad.
Hey, Michael. I had a Brute IPA I had reviewed. I'm trying to think of one. I'm trying. I don't forget what it. I forget what it was. And then you had said
IPA.
What say that again, Eric?
The Sierra Nevada Brute IPA.
Well, I know about that one, but it was another Brute IPA I had from another brewery.
Could have been a New Belgium one, maybe.
Right. What's the difference? Brute IPA versus your everyday IPA. Is it, is it, everyone says the one I reviewed, it has that champagne taste to it. Does this one has that champagne taste to it?
This one does too. Most of the ones I have had more of this citrusy kind of feel, but I don't know if they have to. I mean, as long as it has that champagne kind of feel with it, maybe it could be one that would be less citrusy. But this one would be your citrus characteristic with the champagne feel. And it's not in your face kind of thing. It's just, that's how it is. And I think right now it's an acceptable style. If you look it up in your book, it's an actual style, Brut IPA.
Do you think these things are going to be more popular versus the session IPAs? I don't know.
It's really hard to read how these beer styles go, so I really can't say. But I actually think the New England IPAs are much hotter than this.
I agree.
Yeah, as a style, because it seems like every brewery now has a New England IPA now. It seems some have more. Some have more than one. And go ahead, John.
I'm sorry, Mike. And it seems those New England IPAs that I've had seem to be a little bit more bolder than some of those West Coast IPAs. That's just my view of it.
That's true. In this company that I talk about a lot, 6 Point, that seems to be their headline. Every time they have a release, 2 of them are New England IPAs, and then one. This last time they had a Belgian beer as well, and then 2 New England type IPAs. One a sour one and one something else. But it's almost like and Eric, I've told you this before, the head brewer now came from Trillium. His name is Eric Bockley. He seems to be doing a lot of the Trillium type stuff, and he was not their head brewer there. He obviously was a lower. He may have been, second brewer. I don't know where he was in the Trillium hierarchy, but now he's not only the head brewer now, he's in charge, because the person who owned the company now has sold out to this Artisanal Ventures, which also runs Southern Tier and Victory as well. Jesus. Those 3 beer companies are all together.
6 Points. Don't they do some sort of pumpkin ale that's very popular around?
Southern Tier does.
Was that said again?
Southern Tier Brewing Company.
It's 6 Point, I don't think, has ever brewed a pumpkin bear to my knowledge.
Okay. I'm thinking like 7 Points, or maybe it might have been another brewery, 7 Points brewery.
Well, Southern Tier, like Eric says, has had a famous one, and they have a barrel-aged version too, I think, which John has tried.
Yeah, the Pumpkin. We actually did that one on my channel, and they have the barrel-aged one, and then they have the Warlock, which is a pumpkin barrel-aged stout. So
right, so they have a combination of those things.
While we're still on Michael Komarov for a brief moment here, talking about the Brut IPA, and I've only had this Sierra Nevada's version, so I can speak from some amount of, in my limited amount of experience with them. We got Kent Beer Reviews that's watching from England. Hello. He says that the Brut IPAs are not for me, and I asked him why that was. And he says, gives me itchy teeth. Do you know what the heck he's talking about?
Itchy teeth.
I'll take another taste and see if they get itchy.
One quick note on the Brut IPAs, like the New England style IPAs are typically heavier bodied. A lot of times they have the flaked oats in there, so thicker mouthfeel, and a little bit more complex. The Brut IPAs, I think, are marketed more towards people who like lower ABV, more sessionable beers, because it's extra dry, which adds to the drinkability, I think, and then the high carbonation. So it's more like champagne because of the carbonation and the drier finish, but I think that also adds to the sessionability as well. You couldn't drink a ton of New England IPAs because they're just kind of heavy, whereas the Brut IPAs are kind of going in the opposite direction with their approach to the IPA
He's
style.
talking about saying that it's too dry of an IPA style for him. Kent Beer Reviews.
Maybe that's what his tie-in with the teeth is. That dryness builds up for him.
Oh, okay. All right. I see what you did there.
I'm not getting that, but I guess I can see it. John's correct that there is dryness in the finish.
But typically, if it's not really a higher end, just to go to New England IPAs very quickly, then I want to get to everybody else. I don't want to forget you guys and your ratings. But just very quickly, being within that whole style and the area where it's big, unless I'm getting like a really bigger ABV beer, like anything maybe 8.2 upwards, depending on what it is. Typically, I normally find that the New England style IPAs are quite easy to drink and they're quite smooth and velvety. And yeah, they can be kind of complex, but usually the New England IPAs aren't the most, to me at least, they're not the most bitter beers on the planet Earth, because how that style really started was it was meant to showcase everything else that a hop can do in a beer than just be an onslaught of bitterness. And I think really there are some good examples of bitter onslaughts in New England and in that style, but I think you're better off going to the West Coast if you really want bitter, piney, hoppy, resinous kind of beers, right, Michael Comer?
No, I agree with that. I've had 5 or 6 of these, I think, and I was trying to think. I've had the Sierra Nevada, I've had this one, I've had the 6 Point, I've had the New Belgium. There have to be other ones too that I probably had and don't remember which brewery they were from. But I like the style. I think it's a good style, and I do see the dryness. If people don't like, if the beer to finish dry, they're not going to like brewed IPAs, because that seems like it's a characteristic of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go. There's your IPA recap with Brute IPA from Two Roads Brewing Company. Let's talk about this stout that you were just drinking on John and Ellie, the 200th anniversary Guinness Stout. Is it worthy of being an anniversary stout for Guinness? How is it?
I would have liked it if they bourbon barrel aged it. I think that would have made it better. But yeah, no, it's an excellent stout. You're getting all the right notes that you want with a good stout. You're getting the dark chocolate, you're getting the toasty bread notes, you're getting a nice little hop character on the finish to balance it out. It is lighter bodied than I would like for stout, but for what Guinness does, typically this falls right in line with their other flagship beers, especially the extra stout. I feel like it's pretty much right there with the extra stout. Profile, aroma, finish, everything. I think it's pretty much exactly the same beer. And I think I gave the extra stout a 95 out of 100. I mean, it's a solid standard ABV stout. So I'm going to go with that for the Guinness 200th anniversary stout. I think it's a solid A. It's a 95 out of 100 for the style. But for me personally, I would have liked a little bit higher ABV, maybe a little bit more malt character, a little bit more sweetness. And of course, if they barrel aged it, it would have probably been a 98 out of 100. But it's still a solid A, and it's definitely worth checking out. But I wouldn't, cross state lines for something like this when you've got the extra stout available pretty, much nationwide. And that's, in my opinion, the same exact beer as far as the flavor profile is concerned. So,
other parts of the world, and maybe even in Ireland, that's what they're calling the extra stuff that we get here in the United States. They call that the Guinness original. So that's really like the original. That is the flagship, basically, or even Guinness Draft. So that's kind of cool to see that doesn't really matter to you if it says 200 or extra stout. They kind of are. Good to know. Brooklyn, New York is going crazy tonight. Woo.
That was a phone call, but it wasn't for me.
Oh, okay. Well, boom.
Robocallers.
Let's call the state of Arkansas. Hello. Did Mosaic promise you a good beer? How's it going?
Well, they promised me something. I don't think I can give it a really accurate review because look at the date. I think I got a bad date, guys.
2018.
18, right? Is that right? Am I reading it right or am I wrong? John.
John. It looks like September 18th, 2018 to me.
Yeah. September 2000, either September 18th or September 18th, 1802. I don't think it was canned on in 1802.
18. It may taste like that. I think that I didn't get a good, accurate representation of this beer. But I'm not gonna give it just a terrible rating because I've got it's good. I would say you're getting a lot of the Mosaic hops is predominant in this, like it says. And anyway, basically, I'm gonna give this a 91. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to everybody else.
All
It
right.
sounds like if you had a fresh
I never gave my date. Is everybody interested in the date on mine?
Yeah. Let's compare dates.
I will let you read it, just like Jeremy did. Can you get it? You have to come in closer.
Keep going. Keep going. Almost there. Almost there. I think it says August.
August.
Can I turn it over?
Yes.
Read it to us. It's a little blurry.
Okay, it is January
Oh,
January 10th, 2019, which makes it 2 months old.
we all.
And for a brute IPA, it's fine. I don't think that degraded it.
All right. Well, shit. All right. Cool beans. Cool barrel and beans.
Now, is that Brute IPA better than Brute Cologne? Which one would you give the rating to?
That's a good comparison.
Beer.
Hey, Kelly LeBrock used to be the spokesperson of a Brute Cologne. Brute, smell like a man.
The 80s.
You know. Yep, Kelly LeBrock, good old from Weird Science, and
Man,
she married that deadbeat Steven Seagal, and we know, yeah. And you know, Steven Seagal looks like a damn mess right now. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
We got Sweetwater IPA to give a rating and a review and a final thought of, and as a bonus, we have a venison burger you can rate.
Yes, the venison burger was excellent. I tell everybody, please try venison meat. You can't go wrong. I also got from my partner Mike. I also got some venison steak. That also went well last week, and it was delicious. And my wife couldn't. What's that again?
Getting jerky?
No jerky, no jerky. It was venison with a nice little a house salad with a baked potato. The other last week I had it, and it went well. And I said, "Hey, you want some?" I told my significant other, said, "No, thank you." I said, "Okay, great, more for me." So, but overall, yeah, the burger went good tonight. But again, the Sweetwater IPA. Again, is one of my go-to IPAs that I have, along with Goose, along with Lagunitas, along with the New Belgium Ranger IPA, now Voodoo Ranger IPA. Those are probably the ones that I really go to as, like, you know, really that stand out to me in terms of IPAs, in my opinion. And this one was really good. Very enjoyable. Again, a lot of very dry hop, a lot of flavor in it. And I'm going to give this thing a B+. So that would be an 8.7, 8.8 score for the Sweetwater IPA.
You know what?
88% then?
88.
I think I have given that beer just about the same rating for me. We just got the Sweetwater beers in distribution. I don't know in the rest of New England, but definitely obviously here in Massachusetts just got distribution. And I was happy. I had their winter pack. They had the G13 Weed IPA. Holy crap, that was interesting.
Before you guys continue, John, Anili, I'm sure you saw the story I posted just now about Constellation Brands buying EJ Gallo.
Wow.
I don't know where does that go in terms of the beers and the wines and the spirits, who does what. I know everything. Anytime a company buys some company, it's always about expansion, reaching out to different areas, not only here in the States, but worldwide. So, you know.
John, is that the same Constellation Brands that owns Ballast Point?
And
yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, they have the distribution rights to Corona here in the United States.
Exactly. So who know? Maybe those overseas may be trying Ballast Point beers. You know, hey, you never know.
Yeah. Quickly back to that Sweetwater IPA. I was really happy to see when I was trying it, and then I looked it up on their website. They actually do use some wheat malt in there, so it's sort of pseudo New Englandy with the wheat malt in there, and it actually, for me, it sort of smoothed out the beer and gave it a nice drinkability to it. I actually thought it was a little bit sort of fluffy and smooth. So I was kind of like, well, if I ain't getting to the store to get some New England IPA, and for some reasoning Sweetwater IPA is right there, I might as well just pick that up in a pinch. So you heard that live from a Massachusetts IPA trigger, man. You can do far worse than Sweetwater's IPA, I say. And you can do far worse than this Barrel and Bean. Yeah, it's exactly like a peach cobbler or like an apple pie, just without any of that fruit in there. It's like the exact same thing as that. It has that graham crackery kind of texture, cinnamon. It's got some nutmeggy kind of flavors to it. It's got the molasses, the brown sugary kind of sweetness to it. If I swirl the beer and then I take a drink from it, I actually do notice much more of the roasty cold brew coffee note to it. And there's like a little bit sort of an orangey, or as Michael Kohlroff was kind of saying in his beer, like an undiscernible kind of a citrusy note, but I think it's more like an orangey kind of a note there. That could be from the cold brew coffee kind of giving me that note. Only till the end of the sip, and as it dries, semi-sweet the finish. I only as it dries do I get some of the bourbon barrel and some of the like a coconutty kind of a texture from that. A lot of caramel and toffee. But the barrel's not the biggest note. I think the barrel does a lot to round out some sweetness and to just kind of give it some balance. So barrel aging for balance, yeah, that's exactly what Barrel and Bean has done here. I'm kind of torn what I really want to rate this thing. I don't want to be too generous, but I don't want to be too stingy. So, yeah, Michael Kohlroff, you better write this down. 94 100.
9.4.
94. That is dessert in a glass, and I think there's a medium. I think there's a light style, or maybe a light to medium, or maybe a straight up medium bodied cigar, or maybe some kind of pipe tobacco. This might even really pair with really well. This would pair well with a camp fire. Yeah. Or again, peach cobbler, blueberry cobbler, apple pie. Yeah.
There you go. Sounds good, man. I don't even know if we can get those here though.
Boom. I don't really know what this distribution is like. I know, Michael, you can obviously get the Allagash. Is that correct?
They always have the Allagash Black, which is one of their, I'm not sure exactly what it is. I guess it's another one of their Belgian style.
It's a Belgian stout, and I can get the Allagash beers here as well. I've actually been wanting to try that one for a while because I've never had a Belgian stout. That sounds like a pretty good combo.
Yeah, the Belgians don't really brew a stout, so they kind of took some Belgian brewing style traditions to make a stout. So
I think I probably get some other Allagash beers too. It's from Maine, so it's going to be in the same distribution network, Eric, that you get your stuff from. Yep. Our distributors have access to New England pretty much, most of it. We can't get Trillium or Treehouse though.
Yeah. I don't see in at least one town I looked at in Arkansas that they get these Allagash beers, and that's kind of a shame.
Really? Let me know what.
Jeremy, have you seen Allagash in Little Rock?
I don't know. I've seen so many. I don't know. I just kind of. I don't know. I have a couple of more liquor stores in Little Rock that I could go to that Shane said was actually better than the one I've been going to. So I used to try them out.
I send this to our in Google Hangouts chat. Allagash.com/locator. You can try to locate this. And as far as I did in Arkansas, I failed trying to locate it. Any product. That's a damn shame because they make one of the best that I've ever had Belgian style white ales, wit beers here stateside that you can buy. And it is just as good, maybe a little bit better and a little bit more fuller bodied than Hoegaarden. So that's saying something right there.
John, I was going to tell you, I am going to buy some of the KBS. I've decided that you only live once, and it's not that expensive that I can't afford it. If I can buy the Goose Island Bourbon County, I can buy the KBS.
Yeah. It'll be worth it, Michael.
No, it's good. I've had it before. It's not like I've never had it. It's good. And I don't know.
2019, it might be a little different this year. I don't know. I haven't had the 2019.
claims it's similar to the other years, but I don't know. Sometimes when I don't take. I'm not saying I don't take him seriously. I'm just saying sometimes he can be a little bit too exacting sometimes in what he does. And I'm being fair. He's just giving you his opinion, which is fine. I'll take it for what it is.
Well, and the CBS, the KBS, the Bourbon County Stout, the ABV changes slightly from year to year. A lot of times they'll age them in different bourbon barrels. So
it could be slightly different. And consistency is something, though. You know, Jay did mention when he did the review on Sunday that the fact that they can do it similar is in the brewer's favor, because that means they know what their recipe is and they're sticking to it. But even changing the barrel can change the taste.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You want it close enough to where your KBS fans are going to come back for more, because but you want it different enough to lure in new people as well.
Right.
I think they found a good balance.
And you don't want them to think what Jay said is true, where it's the same every year, because why keep trying it unless you think it might be a little different.
Jay's not into the the bourbon barrel aged high alcohol beers stouts like we are. Not really. I mean, he said that in his video.
He doesn't even like them, and he only tries them because people ask him to review it.
Right.
Yeah, you're not forced in this. This is a hobby. You're not forced to drink or like anything. But I think all of us, not only do we like to drink a beer, review a beer, find out what's going on and rate it, we do like to hear other people's opinions, because it may, like in somebody like a Jeremy's case, that may not have heard of a beer. Hey, I gotta go get that beer. Thank you for introducing me to that idea. Or it's just really awesome to hear other people's opinions on things that either you haven't tried yet, or you want to hear the opinion on something that somebody else that you've had, and see if your thoughts are similar or they're different, and why are they similar or different.
Right.
Or try or hear a rating before you buy it. Like if you got a Trillium type brewery around you and they sell extremely pricey beers, you want to see if everybody else thinks it's worth that price before you go out and buy it yourself and get disappointed.
Makes sense.
So, man, I mean, this was a cool
I love
event.
stouts.
Pretty happy with this event. How are things going in good old Arkansas right now?
Well, it's going good. That I gave it a 91. So, but I'm trying to decide if I need to buy some more Brut Cologne or Brut IPA. So I hadn't decided.
Hey,
nobody told me better.
Elvis used to wear Brut Cologne. So
Oh no, a little fat.
Oh, that reminds me. And I'm having the hardest time possible, because even reviewing Under Influence, Jordan from Canada asked if I was nominated for the 5 non-beer related facts. It's not for any reasoning. I haven't done this 5 non-beer related facts. I'm having the most awful time trying to think of 5 facts to tell you people on a video. So I'm going to have to really think about these facts sooner than later and get down to doing it. People, especially John and Nilly, are waiting for this damn video to happen. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I want to know. We're going to go to each person, and then we'll call this thing a wrap. Mobile, Alabama. How's it going, John? Do you think that the Giants are actually going to do it next year? Because I doubt it.
I don't. Right now, I really don't know. All depends on what they're going to do on the draft. Something tells me they're not going to get another quarterback, even though they're saying about Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State. But something tells me, out of respect for Eli, and I know he got us those 2 Super Bowls, and against the Patriots too. I respect that, but I just think we got to look long term right now. And if you're gonna keep Eli one more year, please get him an O-line that they're gonna protect him, and because right now,
Kansas City Chiefs,
he is going to get slaughtered all year. And Eli does not have the quickness like his brother Peyton. But
well, time to bring Chad Henne out of retirement. I bet you he's cheap as hell.
Yeah.
John. All right. The Kansas City Chiefs, didn't we beat you to get into that Super Bowl?
Jeremy, how come you don't? Why don't you root for Arkansas's NFL team?
That we don't have one. That's the closest one we have. It's either, hey, it's
No,
either
that was Jeremy. That was mean. I'm sorry.
You can't even.
no,
root
it's,
for
hey,
it.
it's
The Rams left.
You
It's
can't-
either Kansas City or Dallas. That's who you like around
Yeah,
here.
I'd rather you root for Kansas City.
I guess that's true.
I've been rooting for them all my life, and they've been terrible. And now they're halfway decent and can't get it done.
Or
So
you could root for the Jaguars, which are even worse of a team.
hey, we're close. If we could get our defense back like it used to be, our defense was what's horrible.
You
But
can't
go ahead.
for an American Alliance football team because now they've suspended operations. That doesn't mean they're
Yeah.
yet. They just suspended operations.
And it was all about this damn gambling app or application they were trying to get going, or whatever.
Okay.
Really?
John, do you root for the Falcons?
No, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. Unfortunately, we're pretty terrible all the time.
Really, not Jean.
John, you don't have an Alabama team either. Who do you root for?
No, we don't.
Oh,
I
sorry,
got
you're a
these-
Giants
it's
fan
like
like me.
there's like these folks there. So, hey, Michael, do like those folks who are so obnoxious about the Yankees winning? You got fans who are so obnoxious about the damn Tide winning every single year in college football. I think roll Tide, roll Tide, roll Tide. I said, man, shut up. I don't give a damn about roll Tide.
I'm
You
just
know?
really happy that I'm not really happy that the Red Sox suck as badly as they do right now.
It's early. It's early.
Boston Bruins have secured home advantage during some playoffs now.
All right.
About the
And
Bruins,
by the way, playoff hockey
that's-
is very, very entertaining.
yeah, it is. So what's going on in all right, we've heard from Jeremy. We've heard from Jean to round out the night. What's going on in John Anilli channel of YouTube? Tell the boys and girls what's going on.
Not much. Just got some good beer on my trip to North Carolina. Auburn, I am a big Auburn fan, and we are in the Final Four for the first time ever. So
War Eagle! War Eagle.
yeah,
Good job, Bruce Pearl. Good job, Bruce Pearl.
Charles Barkley went there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chuck Persons went there, and he's no longer coaching.
Oh,
We'll go there.
You got a Stout Sunday coming up this Sunday, correct?
Yep, and I think I might also do if people get the KBS. If enough people get the KBS, I wouldn't mind doing a separate examination of the 2019 KBS.
Ooh,
Just
That'd be
throwing that
awesome.
out there.
All right, you have thrown out a challenge. We should all oblige.
I'll have to fly to a town that has it.
I heard some good news.
On my private jet.
Round us out for the evening, Michael Kolmoff. I heard some good news that you're in your building and you were trying to rent out your apartment for $1,800 a month, I think, and you finally
1900. We got 1900.
whoa, they average more.
What was happening, and the Stout Sunday viewers are all aware, we were having these get-togethers, these open houses. So my wife was getting up early. So I was trying to do it, and she'd come to the top of the stairs, and she'd hear noise and bottles opening and cans. The usual thing, drinking at 11. What's that about? So,
Well, I'm excited that you got the apartment rented out because it's going to be less interruptions for South Sunday moving forward.
hopefully now she'll she'll sleep in the morning, which she did before. We had it going the whole winter time. It was going well. It was perfect. I would finish, and then she'd come up. What are you doing? Oh, I'm talking to my friends online, and we were done. All good things, I guess.
Now,
It happened on St. Patrick's Day that I got discovered.
that day of all Stout days.
But it's been a lot of fun, and the people who come, some of the new people have been great too. The guy from Colorado, Robert, the whiskey guy is he from Kentucky? Where is he from?
He's in Kansas, I think.
He's in Kansas. Okay, he's cool.
I was going to say the whiskey guy.
yeah.
He's from Kentucky.
What's he called? The whiskey taster? What's his
Whiskey
title?
Scout.
Whiskey Scout.
Oh, wow.
Shane also.
And Shane Fudge has been on for Stout Sunday as well.
Yeah.
That guy I endorse. You should come back, Shane. Come back, Shane.
Yeah, I wish Shane would come back on, but maybe he'll be on Stout Sunday.
All I know. So I don't want to interrupt there, but anything else going on? You do Thursday nights with the boys, and you review beers in person.
Tomorrow night, and the list, John, you had it. You looked through it, and some other people saw it on Facebook. Hopefully, the people who are coming didn't see it, but if they do, they don't know which ones I'm using exactly. That was just part of the list. I have others. So, and it wasn't like you put it up on Facebook, but when it appears on Facebook, other people do see it, which is okay.
Right.
It's not like it's secret. It's not like, we have public secret. It's okay. Because you still are drinking it blind. So you still don't know which beer is as each one goes. So it's
Right.
different.
Yeah.
But it's funny that some of the beers that were on that list are beers that we've had. You've seen some of those. I don't know. We haven't done the Dabble from 6 Point, I don't think. But that's a coconut beer. If you do see it, I think you'd like it.
Quickly,
Coconut beer?
while we are on Michael Komaroff's discussion here. A while back, I'm trying to remember who said it. I apologize. I think it was Friar Tuck. Yeah. No, Ronnie S. had asked, I don't know if he's still watching, but he did ask if you've had that. I think it's the Crisp, the 6 Point.
Yes, I have. I've had it. That's their Pilsner. I've had it. And
Ronnie
John,
had a year-old.
you still can't get it until they get it. But it is Jeremy, for some reason, it's not supposed to be in Arkansas either, and he's seen some of the 6 Point stuff.
Oh,
So
a bunch of them. We probably got it, all of them.
it gets there somehow. Maybe there's a sub distributor who buys them, and it comes across state lines from somewhere else.
This beer is really.
The other thing I was going to ask, Eric, that other place that somebody suggested you could get it online, regardless of what your state says, that has to be the biggest bunch of hooey.
Regardless of what your state says.
No, if they say you can't get it, you can't get it. They're not going to ship it.
I mean, that's generally where I'm generally with you on that. Because the old statement goes, or the old saying goes, if it's too good to be true, it is.
Right.
The website is really actually cool, and it's got a lot of good shit on it. Pardon my French. It's called the Craft Shack, craftshack.com. And you can even buy whiskeys on it. And
I just can't believe if Massachusetts is a state that doesn't allow it, they can't do it.
There's another one. There's another website. I think it's called Devour. I forget what exactly the website's called.
That's the one that the woman in California, Jay's friend.
Yeah. So a buddy at work, for however long ago, they stopped this law in Massachusetts to get beer sent to you. He has either A, done some kind of a workaround, or B, he's grandfathered in to this law somehow, and he is still able to get these beers from that company sent to him, and he uses our business in our office address to get these beers from that company sent to him. So I don't know how that works. He might be grandfathered in, or I don't know.
You have a friend in Rhode Island. Rhode Island's not on the list. Your friend in Rhode Island could get it for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't recall if Rhode Island wasn't able to get beer, but if so,
New York, I'm not sure is on the list or not either. I didn't look into it either. So I'm not sure.
But then again, everywhere in Canada is not supposed to do it, and you hear all the Canadian beer reviewers just going, "Fuck that, we're just gonna send people beer." And yeah,
Wow.
so the only times I've gotten beer sent to me were through John Walker sent me a couple of Christmassy stouts from Hardywood, which
that was Virginia, right?
And then the only other guy was Eric Alliance. He sent me a 12-ounce bottle, just like this size, of the Dragon's Milk Stout. It was their s'mores edition. Now, I think he sent it to me based on the fact that, hey, this guy would like to try it. And then he also let me know that he did not like it. I'm like, you want to send me a beer you don't like? I'll give it a fair shake. What the hell? I'll give it a fair shake. Like, this is absolutely delicious.
The Dragon's Milk. Well, we could talk about it when we go off air. I don't want
Dragon's Milk has 11% alcohol, but
that's a good stout. That's a good stout.
The I'll just say
so badly that alcohol.
The Dragon's Milk is actually certain variants are allocated. So the s'mores and the banana coconut I cannot get here. I can only get the orange chocolate, which I've had, and I thought it was good. And then, of course, the original.
The standard.
Bear.
We can.
The banana coconut sounds right up my alley because I love coconut in darker beers. So
Yeah, that would be good with this beer. Bananas Foster. Yeah, man. That was an absolutely delicious beer. You have to try to find Barrel and Bean Michael Cormorant. That was
If they get in the car, I'll buy one.
I'm surprised that it's year round according to the website. This tastes like beer that should come out once in like the fall. That's like crazy. Right?
Huh.
It's becoming dark in Mobile. Holy crap. And we are gonna go
What
off
happened?
air.
John,
It's not dark. It's not dark. Are you still? Hey.
oh, he was blocking the light.
Yes. It's.
Pick up
I'm
gonna
going
go-
inside the house right now, so but yeah.
We're gonna
Fun review.
pick up your glass. We're gonna do this Boston style. Pick up your
All right.
fucking glass. Until next time, keep drinking them great beers. Cheers. We'll see you soon. That was a bad Boston accent.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. See everybody on Sunday.
Cheers.
cheers.
Sunday, I'm working Sunday, but well, anyway.
How dare you?
Go Auburn, win the Final Four.
There you go. War Eagle.
Yeah.
Sound excited.
We still Can anyone confirm if we are still alive? Anybody? Now we're on. Wait a minute.
Eric.
No.
Eric's is it just me or is Eric breaking up really bad all of a sudden?
It
Yeah, I
still
don't know.
says live on the top. I don't know. Are we still on?
I think he could be like when I tried to go offline and
It took you about 5 minutes to get off. You couldn't get.
yeah.
Now we can say whatever we want to about Brew Cologne.
Eric, are you frozen?
Eric is frozen and we apparently are still live.
It says
I'm gonna buy some more of these. I'm telling you
All right,
guys.
now we can really do whatever we want and take over this channel here.
Right, this is a takeover.
Jeremy, I can't get that in New York.
Come on.
I know. I might have to send you guys some of them. I really am.
Because Shane Fudge was saying that's one of his favorite beers of all time.
It is amazing beer. I want some right now, but I don't. I got to go all the way to Little Rock to get it though.
All right,
Don't
so
tell-
Eric, I don't know if you could hear me, but we're still live, and the only way to end it when this happens is you have to exit the call
Let me
and then rejoin.
text Eric.
I don't know if he. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Dropped off. Dropped off.
I'm still live on mine.
Still live, yay! Oh wait a minute, whoa! We're dropping them like flies. We're still live. This
Let's
is
see. I'll get Eric.
the early stout Sunday edition. This is for extreme early viewers that want to watch.
I'm saying
Stout
still live. You're frozen.
He's gone now. He dropped off. I think actually, Michael, what I had to do was, I think we both had to get off, and then we just went on.
You had to come back on.
We just had to set up a new off-air hangout on.
John and I were doing our own review just alone. This was the beginning of Stout Sunday, I think.
Right.
And Eric is back.